honor and glory out to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York. I want to send double honors to the and the elder bishops out of Connecticut. Send double honors because they do rule well. This is Kapaya and Canasala. We're doing a roadside sit down. Like I said, it just tells us about tribulation and things that go come to us. So we figured, while we waiting on a brother to come give us a helping hand, we've gone on and tried to get a quick sit down there. Anyway, we've talked about tribulation. I said years ago how, my dad being an auto mechanic, how my whips seem to be the issue and whatnot. My son said the same thing, and so it's kind of funny today because he helped me with my car earlier this week, and now I turn around and his is down, and he got it in the shop, and while I'm trying to do a favor for him, my tire blows and whatnot, and then now this caddy, a Cadillac, throw some D's on it, but this Cadillac ain't even got a spare in it and whatnot. So we just looking at how the Lord chasing those and whatnot. You just have to be able to kind of smile and roll with the punches and not take any of this too serious. And this, that, and the other while we go through our tribulation. So we got some scriptures here we go do. This could be kind of short though. But go ahead, man. Pull out that first one.
All right. This will be Ecclesiastica. And first off, call on like Yahweh Shai. All praise to Yahweh Shai, man. All right, because we get punished less than our iniquities deserve anyway.
Exactly.
Man.
That's the scripture.
Right. This Sirach 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation." Okay. Right? We gotta prepare ourselves, man, because you know what I'm saying, when you're serving the Lord, you gotta get purified, man. And we getting purified
like gold and silver is through the trials of fire of this life. But see the difference between us and of the hopeful elect. I'm gonna say us of the hopeful elect is the fact that with that being the case, like you said, one is hopeful. Two, at least we understand why we doing this. We understand the sins that we did in our past and these types of things. And like my son here said, it's less than what we deserve. And the fact that, like I said, through it all, what it says, prepare gird up thy loins, and what he tell Job, gird up thy loins as a man or whatnot. Basically you gotta be ready to deal and be able to give answers and all these other kinds of things anyway. So with that being the case, this is where we at and this is what we got. So those bros.
Nah. I'm just
we're looking at something right now.
Being circumspect.
Right. Being circumspect to what we're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this, that, and the other.
Probably somebody else too.
Yeah, so
hey, that's the spirit.
That's
because
the spirit.
The thing is, we just saying like, hey, we all going through stuff, but
this is Northern Kingdom in front of us, and they just pulled up on the same side of the road. So see, the difference is you got two individuals in separate vehicles, so to understand what they're going through it, and two don't. They just trying to figure out what it is. So this is two Northern Kingdom dealing with what we're dealing with.
Exactly.
So
dang, the Lord always sends you example
of it. Exactly. So like I said, gird up thyself as gird up thy loins and whatnot, and show thyself a man, and be able to endure this in the process. Give me a scripture.
This is Hebrews 12 and 6. It said, "For whom Yahweh loveth, he chasteneth and scourges every son whom he receiveth."
So, like I said, see, the thing is again, back to understanding what's going on with you and why. Okay? Because, being here in America, this is a prison camp for us, first of all. Secondly, it isn't a place of rest.
Man, that was in my head right now. I was like, this is not our place of rest, and you just said it.
So this is not our place of rest. And this type of thing, like I said, but the difference is in knowing and not knowing. You know, so, you know, while we sit at the side of the road waiting on help, waiting on help from a brother in the process of, but him being fueled by Yahweh Shai and his tender mercies as well, you know, these guys here have got to sit here and try to figure out what's going on, why, and all these other things. See what I'm saying? So, you know, but the truth of the matter is, like you said, we all going through it, but just do you understand why you're going through it is the question. Go ahead.
Exactly. It says, if ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with son, for what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? Right.
Yeah, so ain't nobody worried about somebody else's kid.
Right.
You know, like I said, you got a bunch of kids out there acting a fool and this, that, and the other. I'm not worried about that. You know, when my son was young, I wasn't worried about what the other kids was doing, you know.
But he'll beat they
if they did something to him, then yeah, that was a whole different story. But I wasn't worried about what wrong they was doing. I'm worried about what he's got going on, and the fact that if they doing wrong, you know, if I'm upset with, I'm upset with him because he's lumping himself in with that evil, doing that wrong. It's like, haven't I taught you better? Don't you know better? That type of thing.
Talk about flashbacks.
But yeah, so that's what that's about. But like I said, no, you know, I'm not gonna go down there and try to whoop all those kids. I'm gonna go and whoop my own, or whatever the case might be. Okay, so man, that's what I'm on. That's what I would be on, and that's what I was on. I wasn't worried about them other kids, and whatnot.
Okay,
go ahead.
It says, if ye, this is verse 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons?
So yeah, so like you said, that. Are you a bastard then? He's not dealing with you as a person deals with a son. He's dealing with you like he has no love for you. He's not trying to correct you. And that's what happened to a lot of these YNs today. You know, they mothers trying to be their friends instead of trying to be their parents. And now they can't understand why they so fucked up and this, that, and other. Why you got all these men and whatnot, these young men in their 20s and early 30s and whatnot, all jacked up in the head and whatnot, because no pops was around to give them to understand, you know, there's repercussions and consequences to the shit that you do. You know, you got to take account for your actions and this, that, and other. And this is what Murph be saying, been saying for years now. That's why motherfuckers can't come into this truth, because they don't want no accountability. Okay, they don't want no accountability. They want to be able to run free and do what they saying and stack sin upon sin and all these other things, as opposed to trying to live right and do right. Go ahead.
It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
So we catching our ass whoopings now, because when the ultimate ass whoopings show up, we hoping that he's gonna show us mercy in the process of that. Okay, because this is what they got coming. He says, you haven't forsaken me, you forsake yourselves to these 2/3, and they gonna have to learn it by death by pain in the process of. And I just put two scriptures together. Okay, so if you didn't know that, go ahead.
It says, verse 10, for they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
So we trying to get that incorruptible crown. We trying to get it on the first round. We ain't trying to be out here on no jump and then this other stuff. What we out here doing? We trying to the best of our ability, do this work, do the sit downs, feed the sheep. What did he tell them? If you love me, feed my sheep. Told Peter that 3 times. If you love me, feed my sheep. So we try to feed the sheep and whatnot. And whether they hear or forbear is not for us to decide. You know, it's for Yahweh and Yahweh Shah to decide who his sheep is and who are the tares that he's not gonna be messing with and this, that, and the other, or who's the 2/3 is gonna catch it anyway. Go ahead.
This is Luke 14 and 14 and 28. For which of you intended to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?
So you come into this truth and whatnot, and this is one of the first scriptures that brothers taught me when I came into this truth. Being able to going to do this work, are you ready to deal with the sacrifices that come with it? This, that, and the other. Like I said, you can't do this, you can't do that. I had to quit smoking Black and Milds, I had to give up pork, all this other kind of shit, this, that, and the other. And at one point in time when I didn't know no better, it was what it was. But when it came apparent as to how I have to live my life and the things that I'm going to have to sacrifice and walk away from, and these types of things, like I said, those were simple things. The smoking I had to weed myself off of and whatnot. It took a couple months or so, but then 1 month I looked up and it was just done. It was gone and whatnot. I started weeding early and whatnot and cutting it back and cutting it back and cutting it back. And I think about 2 months in or so, I was pretty much done with it. But the flip side of that, and the pork was like was instantaneously once I figured it out, and this, that, and the other, and that was what made me know that I guess one of my spiritual sons, Menachia, that was when I told him that he flipped that in one move. When I was taking him to work when he was working out there at O'Hare, I told him you can't eat that sausage sandwich that he wanted out of White Castle. He hadn't paid for it. We slid out of line and went right across the street and got a steak sandwich from McDonald's. Didn't know no better at that in the process, but it was at least he was willing to like say, okay, no pork, can't eat no pork, boom, right off top. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. So weighing the cost, finding out what it is you got to do, counting the cost, and having what's sufficient to be able to get you through it all. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. That's why it says rehearse the righteous acts, man.
To the best of your ability. Mm-hmm. That's right. Go ahead.
This verse 29, let's say happily.
These happily.
Yeah. Lest happily after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Yeah, we got guys out there fuck around, get smoked and whatnot. He was going around them guys claiming to be a man of the Lord and this, that, and the other. And then the last thing I tuned in and was able to see of him and whatnot, and one of the bros had actually get it because, like I said, I'm not on Instagram and all that other kind of stuff. So last thing I saw of him, he was messing around talking about putting down the guns and picking up the bag, and he had a couple big ass bags of weed and all this other kind of stuff. Talking about, he's talking about money, but he had big ass bags of weed and whatnot, wearing the skinny jeans and whatnot, and all this other kind of shit, all bugged out. And this is what I'm saying. These guys didn't count the cost, understanding what they have to do. We've seen heads of camps get themselves booted and whatnot. Why? Because they didn't want to serve great men with ease and whatnot. They let their pride and whatnot keep them from being able to put themselves under subjection to men and orders that came down from above onto us. Talking about they don't want to be subjected to this man or whatever the case it might be. Well, in actuality, if you think that these men were under Apostle Tahardim, and then Apostle Tahardim being anointed from Mashadim, and then them being from Abba Bivens, and him being spiritually touched, which means all of us are being spiritually touched by these scriptures and whatnot. Then if you didn't want to follow that order, why did you come in the first place? You said that you wanted to be, what was that, part of the battle axe and whatnot, and weapons of war that's going to be part of the destruction crew of the 144,000 that's going to be part of the destruction crew, the ground forces of the Lord. Well, he's a man of war. And as a man of war, that means that he's going to have warriors. And as warriors, you're going to have a chain of command in the process of that. Yahweh being the top of the chain, Yahweh Shai next to that, King David after that, and then so on and so on. Yeah, so you didn't count the cost. You didn't understand that. You may not have joined the U.S. Army, but you call yourself trying to join the army of Yahweh Shai. And guess what? If you fell out and never resurfaced and never tried to come back and never tried to get back right and this that and other, guess what? You got an honorable discharge. You don't get them benefits that come with that. Okay, Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. So they can't take the accountability, the chastisement, none of that, man.
Right.
They gave up.
Exactly.
They put down their sword and shield.
Yep.
And left us on the battlefield.
Hey, took their hand from the plow.
Yeah, fully, man. Like, that's crazy. This 2 Timothy 2 and 3, straight to the point. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach. You got to endure. Endure means you got to suffer, man. You got to go through chastisement, There's no way around it. There's no shortcuts, nothing. It's only one way, man. All right? And it's a narrow path.
Right.
All right. So when you go through it, whether you're going through good things or bad things, always give praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Always. It says, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
So why am I gonna be upset because the caddy didn't have no motherfucking sparing it? This, that, and other. Why am I gonna worry about that? Like I said, I've got a problem, whether it's got one or not. I gotta get that squared away and keep it moving. And I got bigger things to fry. I'm in the time of Jacob's trouble. Motherfuckers are rolling down, rounding motherfuckers up, this, that, and the other. I've got paper. I've got my birth certificate, a copy of my birth certificate, everything in my fucking paperwork on me. Okay, it's on me. That's what I'm saying, because motherfuckers.
But at the same time, they don't care about that.
They don't care, but they don't care about it.
It showed. It was Salaki. There was an older man that said he had that, and they didn't care. They didn't shut up.
Exactly. He had all that, so that's what I'm saying. I put that in there, then I saw that shit after. I was like, damn. So you can't even try to prove your citizenship. They don't get no fuck. So
the only way out of this is with the Lord, man.
Exactly.
This is Acts 14 and 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. Right. It says, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
And so this is it. You still behind enemy lines. You still behind enemy lines. I should say you still under tribulation. You haven't been freed or any of this other shit. So to fool yourself and think that you have is to only disillusion yourself and keep believing a lie that this Edomite has put upon you in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, come out of it. As they say, you're supposed to be separating yourself from Egypt, okay, which is Egypt and Babylon and all these other fucking captivities we have rolled up into one. Okay. So you got anything else?
No, just keep enduring, man.
Yep.
Just keep enduring, because, hey, it's funny. We said, I said this to you yesterday, and we agree. Hey, rather go through the stuff now than go through what the 2/3 is going to have coming to them, man.
Exactly.
Hey, man, I'd rather pay for my sins now than get it all in one wop like these fools.
That's it. Like you said, this is easy compared to what they got coming.
Oh, the water. That's the other scripture. Dang. Hey, okay. Lord Cole, man.
Okay.
Dang, I can't spell, but let's see. How you spell?
I got some scriptures here. Hold on. Okay. I got Kazakh.
I'm thinking
here. This is Proverbs Proverbs 13 and 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes or early times. Ecclesiastes 18 and 20. Before judgment examine thyself, and in the day of visitation thou shalt find mercy. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, okay. And Psalms 55 and 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer. Okay. Because I done lost it here. He run them in here. Psalms 55:20. Cast thy burden upon Yahweh, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Yeah, exactly. 1 Corinthians 11:31. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. Wow. Okay, that's a heavy one there. So, because you know the wickedness that you're doing, you know, you know the shit that you steal off on and whatnot, and you're supposed to be trying to correct it, but you know, ain't no buts. So you dealing with mercy in the process of. Okay. So yeah, man. So you know what can you say here, man? You know people are out here not taking account of what it is that they got going on and this, that, and the other. But like I said, for the this is an exhortation to the men that's in the truth to hold yourself accountable and with integrity and do this work and hold on as this shit falls apart. Because like I said, we know that these demons and these shit is going to amp up and ramp up. So in the process, you gotta strengthen yourself and fortify yourself through the word of Yahweh Shai and hold on and believe he is who he say he is, which he says that he's not a man that he can lie. Okay, so you know we just stand on it, man. Just stand on it. Just stay strong. Go ahead.
This 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. We're looking forward to the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is eternal, man. Right. And we're getting punished. It's a light affliction, man.
Right.
So it's like, hey, man. Oh, and another thing, the Lord will not give you too much that you can bear.
That will not give you more than you can bear.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not give you more than you can bear.
Okay.
So anything else? Hey, so with that, we hope that this is edifying and exhortation to the hopeful elect. And like I said, man, you just keep holding on. You know you got things that's gonna be coming at you, and this, that, and the other. It's part of the furnace of affliction that you got to go through. So in going through it and whatnot, take it cheerfully. Just hold on and just keep praying and believing in Yahweh Shai and doing the work. Okay. And with that, we want to send all praises, honor again out to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakodash, to the hopeful elect, a hearty shalom, and for the rest of the world, a bar.
A bar.